that actually comes with it, right? And so I don't think enough people share. I don't think enough people talk about it or are as transparent enough around it, right? So we're going to talk about it over here on the Lamborghini underscore C channel. So I've been really like sitting and thinking about this over the last couple weeks because I'll be honest with you, I have surprised myself sometimes and some days and some weeks with just some of the things that I've been able to pull off and accomplish, right? And I was just thinking to myself, as sometimes, I kind of have these discussions with myself around the fallacy of not enough time, right? Especially if, like in the business world, right? So let's say that you are currently working in the marketplace in a traditional job, but you are like slowly migrating into that entrepreneurial space. And so you're having to take time out of your day or evening to actually, work on your dreams and to make things happen. And sometimes you can just feel like, hey, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. Like, there's not enough time in the day, right? First of all, you have to change your mindset and you have to change your words. Don't let that come out of your mouth ever. There's always enough time. Now, I say that confidently because, again, as I say that, um, a couple of real, like realizations have come to mind for myself. One, sometimes we have to give up control. Sometimes we think there's not enough time because we're trying to control everything and manage everything ourselves. And we need to delegate and we need to find trusted people that we can partner with or hire in some cases that are experts in their particular area and let them run with it, right? And then oversee. Especially if you want to be that entrepreneur, you have to put yourself in that boss mode and that boss mindset, right? And then just realize that, hey, the order of which you did things may have to shift. Now, I have been like, I have been experiencing that. I would say probably the last couple months. I think God has been working with me and getting me out of my like even my daily patterns, right? Sometimes I can get so caught up and like have this prescriptive way of doing things, that I get up in the morning and I have to, you know like maybe start out with my workout or start out with coming down to my office and immediately jumping into emails before I can work out. And sometimes it's just not going to work that way, or your day just may not go that way, right? And so, even like today, like because I have been in the practice of making myself uncomfortable and working and doing things out of order or out of my norm, I was able to get everything done that I needed to get done today that I did not think I would get done. I thought I was actually going to have to, like put some things off of my list. I thought I was going to have to nick something. So I actually today I had on my plate one, I wanted to exercise. I wanted to have my workout. I had two meetings set up this morning that were scheduled. I had an impromptu meeting as well. And so the plan was to be able to get up early, exercise, then jump into my first meeting, and then roll into that second one, and then go get myself together and get ready because there was a workshop training or something that I needed to attend. For some reason, I even thought I would be able to go to my chiropractor early, right? And as the day got going, my order of things that I was able to do kind of got rearranged by happenstance. And so, oh, and I had another important call, another important business call too that I had to make. And so, I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to put off going to the chiropractor. I'm actually going to reschedule it. They make it pretty easy, right, with the app to just go in and reschedule when you go. And so, as the day was going on, you know what? I'm not going to do that to myself. Like, that is something that I need in my life. It's part of my health regimen and even like just my overall, you know, life, mental like regimen too. right? Again, sometimes you don't realize the pain that your body might be feeling until you actually have those, chiropractor sessions. Like it works wonders and does miracles. And so, long story short, I had to release some things, and I had to release them to someone that I brought on to help me with some projects, to do some work for me, who actually is very skilled and able to do things and able to do them efficiently. And so it worked out. And then that just relieved a little bit of stress that took some stuff off of my shoulders. Then I was able to get a little bit of a slight workout in. And it wasn't as long as I wanted to, but I still got it in, right? Because it's all about the consistency. Then I started to jump into my business meetings, and then I took a break. I said, you know what? I'm going to take an hour. I'm going to go head over to my chiropractor, go ahead and get my treatment done, get my traction in, and come back. And it made the world of difference. I feel like it made my afternoon that much better because I actually took the time to do some self care versus putting off my self care to attend to other things. But, again, like I said, this whole, fallacy of not enough time can really trip you up as you're working to your goals because you'll continue to put things off. You'll continue to, not follow through on things if you're not careful because you'll tell yourself, you know what, I'm too tired. I don't have enough time to do this. I tell you what, like yesterday, I got a burst of energy out of nowhere, right? And I got on this cleaning spree. And for me, like over the last few years, I've come to realize when I that comes on me, I have to take it how it comes. Look, I better take advantage of it. But when I tell you I did a thorough cleaning of this house, I did a thorough cleaning, which was much needed, right? And that'll last me, for some time. But, I was kind of feeling mentally a little bit, kind of bad because I was like, oh, I know I really need to, straighten up the house a bit more. And I would be so exhausted, right, by the time I get to the end of the day. And, and I have to tell you today, like I've been kind of on this different schedule where I've been operating in several different time zones. And so today, I really, I had energy to come live like tonight, right? And I know some people will watch this on the playback, but that's good, right? Again, you have to get it when you can, right? And so I'm learning to again really use my time wisely. I think having so much on my plate is making me that much more efficient and that much more effective and ideally that much more impactful, which is the end goal here, guys, right? And so, again, you really start to think of your time as currency, which it is. It really is currency. And again, for me, I'm a financial person, right? And that is the core of a lot of things that I do. So even when I'm thinking of weight loss or even time, I think of it in terms of like money, right? Like, how am I going to spend my money? How am I exercising my money today? How am I exercising my time? How am I exercising my calories, my caloric intake, right? Those things are always at the top of mind. And those things help me track, they help me stay focused, help me stay on target so that I can really like, chip away at those goals, right? And get everything done. So I want us to stop saying that there's not enough time. There's a quote that I posted the other day, actually a few weeks ago on my IG pages. And again, it was, it's something that I came across a few years back that um, a guy that I knew, like I saw him post it and I thought, wow, like it's the truth, right? It's like, hey, it says, I can't complain that my plate is too full when my goal was to eat. And that's deep, right? Because it's like sometimes we'll pray for years on things, right? We'll meditate, we'll do all the right things, and we'll beg and pray and plead, God, please bring this into my life. I want my business increased. I want to make X amount of dollars, for the year. And so then when it starts happening, here's the thing: you don't get to sit and pick and choose how it comes. You don't get to sit and pick and choose if it's parceled out to you. Sometimes it may all come in at you like a tsunami. But again, this is what you've been praying for. This is what you've been hoping for. This is what you've been manifesting. This is what you've been meditating on, right? And so it's here. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to just like say, throw up your hands and say, no, what? There's not enough time. I don't have enough time, and walk away? Some people do that. And some of those people are the folks that you look at in life. Some I've had in my life, and I've had to create a little bit of distance because, I've watched them through the years, and opportunities have come and they've passed just through them. Like, you ever look at somebody and you see them like they're very talented and they have these great, wonderful dreams. But it's like they continue to fail to launch. They never can just get that traction, right? Because at every turn, whenever there's an obstacle, at every turn where there's a hard moment, it's like they just give up. I'm here to tell you today, like, you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent to anything else or anyone else, be consistent to yourself, be consistent to your dreams, be consistent to your destiny. You owe it to yourself to win. And I'm not here to try to act like all of this comes easy, like it's not hard, like, there's not struggles, or like people don't disappoint you. But when I tell you I'm so committed to my goals and to my dreams and to fulfilling my destiny, like, I am that person, right? Sometimes I have to cry through it. Sometimes I have to crawl through it. Sometimes I'm aching. I may have a headache. I'm battered, bruised, beaten, and scarred, honey. But I am going to get to that finish line, no matter if I have to crawl my way through or past that finish line. And the reason that I can talk so strongly about it today is because time and time again, I have had those instances, right? And when I have those tough times, it's like God will bring back to my remembrance of a time where I thought I couldn't make it, a time where I thought I couldn't succeed, a time where I thought, I don't know if this is going to happen. I just don't know about it this time. I just don't know about this one. And He keeps bringing back to my remembrance. Remember that time? And I succeeded. Remember that time and I hit that goal. Remember that time and He elevated me, right? I'm in that moment now. And so He keeps flashing through my mind. He keeps bringing back to my remembrance those times. And so that makes it easier for me to continue on with the growth. And like I said, sometimes I have to brush some dirt off my shoulders, or sometimes I have to wipe some tears from my eye. But guess what? I'm going to keep it going. Okay. I'm fighting for my last name. I am fighting for my legacy, for my destiny, one that was given to me by my divine creator, right? So I can't give up on it. I can't let go of the dream. I can't just throw my hands up and say there's not enough time. As I was growing up, my father raised me as a single parent, right? So I oftentimes tell people that was the gift and the curse. I think more gift than anything, because it shaped me for who I am today, the woman that I am in the business world, right? The logic that I have, the understanding that I have around finances, it really put me on that path to really, kind of be a beast and really like start studying on my own, and really start seeking out those mentors to be able to, really focus on the life path of true wealth, right? And that upper class, like moving out of that middle class mindset, right? And really truly being able to operate and live and dwell in my destiny. And honestly, guys, it's by divine order, because sometimes I don't know how some things happen, or even like in the natural, when if I were to step back and look at things, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Like it's not supposed to be. But that's because it's supernatural. And, I take no credit for that. But in that, I say that with such confidence and, exaltation, because that's the only way that I want it. Because when it comes that way, There's no man and there's no woman that can hinder or try to take that away from you. When it comes from up above, when it comes from the divine source, the divine creator, no one can impact that. They can try all they want to, but they're not touching it. They're not messing with it, right? And so I'm reminded of that, and I'm reminded of, the things that my father taught me growing up. Now, he wasn't always politically correct. My dad, we were like friends. That was my homie, right? And I remember, like, growing up and him, telling me, Netta, sometimes you just gotta holler, fuck them, and carry on. And so I always remember that. I've teased one of my friends that I'm gonna sit down and just kind of coin like all of these different phrases that he used to say. Again, some inappropriate, some inappropriate and not politically correct. But you know what? I call those the Clintisms. And those Clintisms have gotten me through some tough times when he was living and when, now that he's gone. And so, I share them with you as motivation, that you will recall them, that you will use them as motivation to yourselves. Those times where you may have those family and friends questioning what it is that you're doing, or saying you look crazy. Again, remember, this is 2023. We're going to look crazy this year, right? Because those of us that have a dream, those of us that have a destiny that we're working toward and fighting toward, those of us that are directed by divine intervention, we are going to look crazy to the rest of the world because while they're running scared, we actually have the audacity and we have the knowing deep within inside of us that we are going to succeed, that this is going to be our year of growth, that this is going to be our year of prosperity and our year of wealth, because there is the wealth transfer that is coming, that is in place right now as we speak. And again, you can throw your hands up and you can hide your head in the sand and you can say, oh my God, the sky is falling. I don't know what's going on. Or you can look at those goals and destinies and you can ask for that divine intervention to be able to show you how to create multiple streams of income, where to find your place in the market space, where to expand, and create. And those are the individuals that are going to find success in this season. Those that are able to look outside of the lens of the rest of the world, but those that are able to hone in on their true divinity and see beyond and see into the supernatural and into the spiritual, those keen opportunities to be able to make an impact and make a difference. Now, again, I talk about my destiny and my commitment there because I know and I understand that it's not all about me, right? And that's why I've been given the vision. That's why I've been given the dream. Because when I look at the lives and the people that I've been able to touch, and the people that I've been able to speak life into, like I know and understand I am here on purpose, you know and that can go, that in many forms, right? I'm here on a purpose, right? I'm also here, and it's no happenstance that I am here, or that I am placed in the rooms that I'm placed into, or that maybe I'm sitting next to the people that I'm sitting next to, whether I'm on a plane or whether I'm in a restaurant or sitting at a bar or something, and I get to engage with these individuals because sometimes they enlighten me, and sometimes I'm used to enlighten them or even minister to them. And so I know and I understand that I am here on purpose, and I want you to be here on purpose. I want you to really truly sit down and identify what your purpose is. What significance are you supposed to bring to the world? Because when you begin to think of it from that perspective and that mindset, nothing can stop you because you know and you understand that it's bigger than you. It's bigger about some paycheck. It's bigger about some tax bracket that you're going to end up in. That's just the byproduct of it. People get so hung up and so, uptight about prosperity. And when you start talking about wealth and abundance, and honey, that's just a byproduct. That's just the residue. That's just the after effect of the manifestation of your destiny that you're going toward and going after, right? And so I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to stay focused. I want you to know that you can do anything. You can do anything that you put your mind through, and you can do anything that has been dropped in your spirit. Keep that in mind. The fallacy of not enough time, we are doing away with. In 2023, we're going to make time. We're going to create time because we can speak into the atmosphere and have time stand still for us so that we can get caught up. Do you know that? Some of you may not even understand that, right? Do you know, like some of you have had instances where you've been just running yourself ragged and worrying yourself, right? Until the point that you may be almost sick because you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to miss my deadline. Have you ever gotten to a meeting and then, they say, you know what? We're actually going to push that back to next week. That is the God and the universe giving you more time, right? That's a blessing sometimes. I can't tell you the number of times that has happened to me. And so I began to really change my mindset, and it has enlightened me and helped me understand that, hey, there's no need for me to make myself so worried that I'm getting my blood pressure up, that I'm making myself sick or having headaches because I'm so, like nervous that I'm going to miss a deadline or miss an opportunity. Because I know and understand what's for me is for me. Sometimes the opportunity is missed because, the thing that I may be going after or the thing that I might feel is so, so important, it actually would disrupt or move me off of the path of my true destiny, right, and my future. And so sometimes the universe or God has to allow those things to happen that I may think, are so bad because they're pulling me off of my life path when really they're not. They're actually preserving me and making a way so that I can stay focused and not lose focus off of the goal, right? And so again, I just wanted to hop on really quick and talk about this fallacy of not enough time and tell you that, you know what, we're throwing that away. We're throwing that in the trash. Keep in mind, whatever you want to do, you can do. Because I tell you what, when I was in my 20s and even look, sometimes in my 40s now, um, you know, there's times when I've been traveling and I might want to go out and I tell you what, I some days I live 2 or 3 days in one day. And let me tell you, if you get invited to a party, like, and I was in Miami and I was at this conference, right? And so then I think the day before or maybe the day of, I found out like, hey, we actually are I knew they were having some talks about doing something special, right? For a select group of us. And so I found out, hey, like we actually were able to pull it off. So we have confirmed, a rapper. Y'all can probably guess who it was, like in Miami. Come on, a certain rapper and another celebrity to kind of have a private kind of get together, a private like party, right, for you guys. Now, I was dog tired that night. But do you know I was able to make it home to the condo? I was able to change up, get my outfit right, get my party gear out, together because it was at Club Live, and represent and get my place in the space. And that was important, right? Because again, while it was, a nice little party atmosphere and it was cool, it also was a great networking opportunity. I made some networks that night that have paid off and like have, you know, pulled me into other networks with just great individuals that are building great things and creating history. So again, let's do away with this fallacy of not enough time. Let's go after our goals. Let's go after our dreams. It's 2023 and we're going to win. Again, this is Lamborghini underscore C on YouTube. You can follow my business page, Edmund Enterprises LLC on Instagram. You can follow us on LinkedIn or check out the website, Edmund, EDMUND enterprises.com. Also, look out for my book entitled A Case for Cultural Competence in Business. You can purchase and download a copy of the book right on the website. And, let's get it, guys. Have a good start to your week. This is 2023. We're heading into the second month of the year. Let's go.